Hi guys, so I'm here today to do my sort of reading resolutions slash plans for 2016 video, and this isn't just about books I want to read but also about things I want to do on this channel and elsewhere online, what I might be reading and what you kind of can expect to see from me in 2016. And now I don't have a list of specific books I want to read in 2016. And I don't have a little bingo chart like I had last year. I did film another video letting you know how I got on with my bingo chart from the beginning of 2015 and how many boxes I ticked off. I lost the film footage. I've actually handed in my memory card somewhere to see if it can be retrieved, so if it can I'll refilm that, but for now just kind of got my fingers crossed because there was some other videos on there that were actually more important and taking me more time to film, so I'd really like them back, but may have to just refilm them all. Let's quickly go over my personal reading goals before I talk about my plans for 2016. So I have a few goals for 2016 on the reading front. There are a selection of authors in particular who I want to make sure I read more of their works by. One being Shirley Jackson, who I got into a couple of years ago, really enjoyed what I read, and then haven't actually read any of her books in over a year, but own quite a few and got one for Christmas. So I really need to get back into her stuff. Secondly is Kirsty Logan, who I read a short story collection by this year, absolutely adored. Own her other short story collection and her novel, need to read another one of those. Another is Ali Smith, who was an author I meant to get into a long time ago, only just did, and she has a massive backlog, so I really want to catch up on some of that. I also want to read more non-fiction. Now don't get me wrong, I read a lot of journal articles, academic blogs, chapters in books which are basically a compendium of various different authors' works. However, I must say I don't read a lot of non-fiction from cover to cover like I would with a fiction book. Last year, having checked, I read 7 non-fiction books from cover to cover, which, although it's not terrible, is not really where I want to be at with my reading non-fiction from cover to cover. Now when I say I want to read more non-fiction, I don't just mean academic. Of course I want to read ancient history books, academic and kind of fun type ones, but I want to read a lot more. I want to read essay collections and political books and books on different periods in history, so I really want to make a conscious effort to read a lot more non-fiction from cover to cover in 2016. Now, I'm not being unreasonable. My goal that I have set for myself is 10 non-fiction books from cover to cover. Probably don't need to keep saying from cover to cover, do I? You get what I mean. It's 10 non-fiction books, which is a slight increase on last year's. Hopefully I'll read more than that though. I would love if I was getting closer to the 20 mark, but I'm going to set my minimum at 10, so that has to happen this year. I also want to up my familiarity with kind of epic high fantasy. Now, I've always been a great lover of fantasy. It was kind of the genre I mainly read as a child within children's books, and I've continued to enjoy fantasy to this day, but I do feel like, I mean, there is a whole world out there of epic high fantasy with dragons and unicorns, and I'm a magical creatures fan, but also knights and witches and wizards and all that kind of good stuff. You could spend your whole life only reading that kind of book and still never read it all. I certainly don't consider myself much of an expert in the high fantasy genre, although I really enjoy it, and I'm sure I'd be able to give you a recommendation if you asked for one, but I would like to be more well read in that world, so that's a plan. But other than that, I am pretty easy breezy. There's a few books I want to and probably will read in 2016, but let's talk more about my plans for online because it's not just about the channel. So I have a massive list of videos I want to film, of course, and there's no point in me rattling off that list. You will see them as they come, but there are some more general types of videos I want to make more of, as well as some series. I mentioned last year that obviously I got in to do a PhD at the University of Roehampton. I have officially begun that PhD now. I am a part-time PhD student and I'm researching into gender violence in ancient Greece. When I let you guys know that I was going to be starting a PhD in January, I also let you guys know that I'd set up a Patreon account, which I have to add, thank you so much to everybody that has become a patron. Obviously, I appreciate that not everybody can and you shouldn't have to, but I am very grateful to those of you that have done. It's really wonderful that you want to use $1 or $2 of your money every month, or just once and never again, to help support my research and my creative endeavours like YouTube. Your tips have been noted and they are honestly undying gratitude over here. But this video is not a gushy video about that, but I set up a Patreon account alongside the fact that I was starting a PhD. If you want to know more about that, I'll link the video down below. I won't keep talking about it here, but one of the things I did say I would do is a bit of a PhD series. I'm going to be beginning that series in February. Obviously I only just started this month. I haven't really gotten to grips with anything or really started that much at all this month. I'm just not ready to start making PhD videos, if that makes sense. As of February, and it'll probably be something that goes up kind of in the last week of every month, I will be doing a video once a month about my PhD. Now that could cover a wide variety of topics. It could be about kind of building your academic career pre-PhD, so like undergraduate, postgraduate studies. It could be about applying for PhDs. It could be about finding topics you're interested in. It could be about what I'm currently actually doing for my PhD, so what's involved in a PhD, which obviously is probably something that's going to come later down the line. And it could very well be on what my PhD is on, so the research I'm conducting, what I'm conducting, previous research I've done that's kind of led me to this research, and just general background history in stuff that's relevant to my PhD. So obviously a lot of stuff there could be covered. I mean, I'm going to be at this PhD for about 5 years, so we'll see how things go and how the series works out. But I can promise you there will be one video related to that subject every month, for as long as that works as a setup. If you do have any specific requests for that series, then do let me know. I'd love to hear them. Those will not be the only university videos I will make though. I've been getting more into the swing of making videos about university and studying, so I do intend on doing more of those, don't worry. Again, if you have any requests for university study related videos, do let me know. I did actually film an entire video on stationery and organisation for university, which is one of the missing videos, but I'll refilm it if I have to. I do plan on doing more ancient history videos. There's a few ways I could do that. I could do myth retellings, I could do the origins of certain like notions and ideals in antiquity, I could do ancient literature videos, I could do like basic ancient history videos. All of these are possible. I can do all of them. So again, let me know which ones you would be interested in, if there's any specific people you would be interested in. Like I've said before, I'm a Greek historian. I don't mind talking more broadly about antiquity, but there will be no in-depth videos about Roman history. Like, I'm no expert and it's not what interests me that much, but I do enjoy Latin literature, so I can do videos on that. And thirdly, the other thing I want to do more of on my channel, which I mentioned in my least favourite picks of the year video, is more politics videos. I would love to talk about more general, wider social issues, as well as more specific ongoing events in current affairs. Not exactly sure what format those videos are going to take, but they are going to happen. And like I said, I also plan on reading more non-fiction, including political non-fiction, so I can talk about that as well. Which brings me on to my next topic, which is I started a blog. Now, I had a blog before, ages ago. I started it way before I ever had a YouTube channel, like 7 years ago. But I stopped posting on it a long time ago and actually got rid of it a little while ago because it was just sitting there. But I had been meaning for a while to start a new blog, start afresh, start somewhere where I can really practice my writing on. So not just what I did today or list posts or book reviews, but actual sort of feature pieces, short articles, musings on topics, advice posts, that kind of thing. Like I said, somewhere that I can really use my skills in writing and develop my skills in writing, and also talk about things that for me don't fit video format. Now I feel like most things probably work as a video, but that doesn't mean I can make them work as a video, and there's some things I would rather write about than I would talk about in a video. So I wanted to do this for ages. There's blog post ideas I've had for ages I've been keeping a note of, and it just took me a while. I have, however, started the blog. It's called morejeansthoughts.wordpress.com. Obviously I'll link it down below. And I have a post on there. My first piece was a post on a specific line of book covers which are incredibly sexually objectifying of women. and pretty offensive in my opinion, but you can go and read more about that on there. So I have posted my first post. It took me a little while to write. I'm sure there's room for improvement, absolutely sure, but like I said, it's something I'm hoping to develop, and it is something I plan on committing to. It's not going to be this one blog post and no more. Like I really do plan on writing regular blog posts. In fact, I already have written 2 other blog posts which are saved as drafts, ready to go up. I will probably be posting a blog post about once a week. I'm also not really sure how much content people want from a blog, because I've not had a blog for a long time, or one that I've really put a lot of myself into. So if you do have any requests for how regularly you like to read blogs, and also because I've just started it, I don't know how many ideas I have right now, so I need to space them out. But I would love it if you went and checked out the blog if you like reading blogs. Not all the blog posts will be on like social issues. I do have plans for some on stuff that's currently going on in classics and ancient history, kind of academic type things, and also more fun pieces. I have written a piece on antiquity-based television shows, which will be up in a few weeks. Another thing I did consider putting on the blog, and I've not decided whether I will or won't yet, is creative writing. Like I said, I like to write myth retellings and things like that. I've always been a writer at heart. I do creative writing. I'll pretty much just sit on my computer saved in files. A lot of it's not finished. I don't do much with it, unfortunately. That's something I haven't decided on yet. It's difficult knowing whether it's worth putting out there, whether it's actually any good or not. But basically anything I want to write about and don't want to film a video about, I will hopefully make into a blog post. These lights are great, by the way, because it means I can film just now, like when it's not light outside, but they make you sweat. Now, I do have some other projects in the pipeline, some potential things going on there, which I obviously won't talk about just now because they're not finalised, but I'll let you know if they go ahead. So we'll see how all of that goes in 2016. I am so looking forward to 2016 on this channel and elsewhere. I hope you're as excited as I am. I hope I can continue to provide you with content that you enjoy, that I enjoy making this year. The love for YouTube is certainly not dying for me anytime soon, so I will see you all in a couple of days, and until then, like I said, leave any questions or requests in the comments down below and I'll chat to you down there. Bye!